Yes, a church hates evil. According to Romans chapter 12, verse 9, we are continuing our study on what is church. And church is not a building. Yeah, I'm next to the stained glass windows in our sanctuary here in Miami Temple, but a church is not a building. A church is a group of redeemed believers that live and love in such a way that lives and communities are transformed. And so this week, we've been looking at the different characteristics of a church community. And today, I want to remind us that a church hates evil. Now, I grew up at a time when I used to hear these hateful speeches, how the church hated homosexuality. You know, I grew up in the 80s and 90s when I used to hear from the pulpit that AIDS was God's wrath against the homosexuals. I grew up at a time when the church hated certain music styles, worship styles. Remember in the 80s, the celebration, and I'm talking specifically to the Adventist tribe, you know, the celebration movement, how much hate speech, right? I grew up at a time where we hated certain dress styles. But that's not what the church should hate. You know, I want to get to a point where our church hates hypocrisy, hates injustice, hates arrogance, hates gossip. I want to see a church that truly hates the evil that destroys our church community. It's very easy to point out to the world. It's very easy to have now this cancel culture. Well, let's cancel Netflix because they have a show that is making fun of Jesus. How about reprimanding what's happening inside our church building, where many of us think that coming to church is enough in our discipleship experience? I want to get to a point where we can clearly speak to one another, and I'm talking to Christians, Jesus followers, where we can speak to each other and say, hey, you're not acting Christ-like right now. I love you. How can I help you? How can I guide you so that you and I can be more Christ-like in this community? I want to get to a point where we hate a consumer-minded church and now be missional, that everything and every person that we see is a candidate for the kingdom of heaven. I hate knowing that people today are going to die without knowing Jesus. And that is my thought as I stand next to a stained glass window. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.